everybody. Welcome back. Today is December 15th, 2015. Getting ready for Christmas. Gonna go outside here and enjoy this nice cold weather. Ooh, man, it's cold. Need craziness out here. Why is it so? Man, it's like 80 degrees out right now in the middle of December. So what we're going to talk about right now is purely speculation, of course. Let's just keep it at that. And the question is, what does chemtrails have to do with the rising prices of land and real estate in Orlando? Okay, now if you see what I'm wearing here, I'm wearing a t-shirt in the middle of, it feels like June, but it's actually just December 15th. You know, Christmas is right around the corner, as you can see the Christmas tree inside. So here's my thought. Here's my crazy speculation, if you want to call me crazy, or maybe I'm just thinking a little bit differently than everybody else. Okay, why would prices go up if you're constantly shooting chemtrails at us? Well, here's why. If you notice, obviously it's December 15th. It is like 80 degrees out right now. And I'm not sure if you knew, but Orlando is up-and-coming convention center area. Vegas has always been the monster of conventions. But if you think about Vegas, Vegas isn't really family-friendly. It's more of an adult kind of playground. So when you have conventions there, yeah, you have people that go and they're adults, going to business, conventions and all that stuff. But they can't really bring their family as much. It's not so suitable for the family. But now Orlando is an up and coming. We're like rated number 2 in North America for conventions. And that's because we have Disney World right by us. We have all the theme parks, all the major attractions. So if you put that into perspective, now we have a huge market for conventions and some really great convention centers here, as well as Disney and all these other places. So now, if you're leaving your town, say you live in New Jersey, and you go to a convention, right? If it was out in Vegas, you may not want to take the family. But if it's in Orlando, now you have an opportunity to say, you know what, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I gotta be in Orlando for a convention, and you know, it's perfect time for us to get a little getaway. You know, maybe bring the kids, bring the wife, or bring the husband, or whatever. And we can have a very nice little impromptu vacation based on the boss paying for it and getting us out to these conventions. So there's kind of the logic behind that. Now, how does this correlate? Okay, well, when people come from out of state, say it's December in New Jersey, and you've already gotten snow, it's freaking cold as hell already. You know, the Northeast, the Midwest, it's already snowing in certain places. If you think about it, when people come here for conventions, right, it's beautifully warm. It's like you get off the plane and you're like, I feel like I'm in a tropical vacation, you know, and it just kind of sets the mood. Well, the reason why this correlates is when you step off the plane and you come from 20 degrees to 80 degrees, and it's beautiful out, you can go swimming, you can be outside with a shirt on, t-shirt, shorts, you know, you just have a great day. I mean, it's sunny most days when it's not chemtraily. But you think about it like that. When people get off the plane and they get here, no matter where they're from around the world, people come here for vacation and whatnot, and it's beautiful. It's nice and warm. Now, this kind of sets a subconscious line of thinking where, yeah, come to Florida. It's beautiful. It's sunny. It's always warm. Okay, that's what Florida is, right? That's Orlando. So now this is building up the tourist industry. Now, if you think about it, the tourist industry is huge. Orlando already has the tourist business, but now we're starting to get a lot more people living here. I mean, it's always been a boom. It's been on up for, you know, since 1979, when you know, since the 70s when Walt Disney World opened up. So since then, I mean, it's just been on the rise, and it's a beautiful place. I mean, it really is. I love it. I came from New Jersey myself, so I know the difference. I understand, and I love the fact that it's warm most of the time here. That's why I'm here. But if you think about it, this is what's subconsciously setting in people's minds. You know, oh, I don't want to shovel snow anymore, or I don't want to go up and down hills everywhere, and I don't want to pay extravagant like property taxes and all this stuff. Well, come to Florida. It's warm. It's beautiful. There's a lot of industry. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of jobs available, and this is building up the land value. Quite quickly. I mean, you see it happening everywhere. So the correlation that I'm making is, if you can believe it or not, chemtrails, what they're doing, what that does is it keeps the heat in. It keeps the atmospheric heat in, and it keeps it nice and moist and a little bit humid, which not everybody likes, but it does keep the heat. It traps the heat, and that is creating this more beautiful condition for people to just say, all right, let's move there. Let's screw everywhere else. Let's just go right to Florida, Orlando specifically, and we're gonna have beautiful weather, 11 and a half months out of the year, and everything is gonna be perfect. And that's what happens. The boom is happening. So if you ask, well, why, what do they have to gain by doing chemtrails? Well, it's keeping it hot here. It's keeping it warm. It's sending a message to people that don't live in Orlando, come to Orlando because it's always warm. It's always nice. See how it goes here? This is the correlation that we're making here. A lot of people will say, well, why chemtrails? Chemtrails are poisoning even the people that are doing the chemtrails. Well, yeah, it's true, but they don't realize what they're doing. They don't know. It's all compartmentalized, obviously. But the thing with chemtrails is that it is the global warming. Another thing is people think, well, they're just poisoning us. What would be the good? Why would the government do that? Well, it's a lot more deep than that. Okay, think a little bit deeper. Why chemtrails? Well, the chemtrails are keeping the heat in the atmosphere. It's not doing the opposite what they say, which is to fight global warming. It's actually making global warming seem like it's actually happening. This way they can use that to come up with all kinds of more control mechanisms, laws, and they just passed the France summit thing with the global emissions and all that stuff around the world. And I'm not saying that stopping or limiting the emissions is a bad thing. No, I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that when we start regulating things based on a false preference, that is when things are wrong, because you don't know why exactly they're lying about it. If it's for the good of the world to just keep things cooler or to stop the ice from melting and the global warming from happening, then we should just lower the emissions and we should get off of fossil fuels altogether. We can do that. We have a lot of technology, solar, wind, water, turbine and all that stuff. We can do all of that. And we can pretty much eliminate 100% of the need for fossil fuels indefinitely. But there's a lot more politics to that. I mean, if Exxon was to close tomorrow, that would be millions of people that would be out of jobs and out of revenue in some sort, and that would cause a global collapse in that way. So we need to wean off, but we need to do it quite aggressively, a lot more aggressively than what these summits are talking about, like emissions, lower the emissions by like a certain percentage in 10 years. I mean, come on, that's just silly. If we stop doing the chemtrails, if we stop polluting our environment intentionally to try and make it look like global warming is happening, then it won't happen. But it's a lot better for the control system if we can fraudulently make some sort of occurrence so that we can say, oh, see, this is what we have to blame it on this, and now that we're blaming it on this, we can do a lot of other things. So that's the trick. And a lot of people don't see this. A lot of people don't realize that the whole government system is pretty much just a big trick. It's a big game. It's a big lie. And a lot of people just want to look at me and say, "You're crazy, man. You're crazy." I've heard it so many times. I mean, and that's fine. I mean, if you think I'm crazy, fine, because I'm not thinking the same way you are. So since that is true, yeah, maybe I'm crazy to you. But in reality, I see things for the way they are. I'm seeing things at a critical level, which I think that most people are tending to forget to do, which is important. I think that it's really important to say, okay, here's some evidence. Okay, now I'm going to weigh it against the facts. I'm going to find out what the facts are, and I'm going to see whether or not you're right or wrong. And if you're right, I'll listen to the next thing you say, and I'll continue to learn. And if you're wrong, shame on you, but at least I wasn't duped by your bullshit. So that's what separates the critical thinkers from the, just spoon feed me a great story so that I can tell my friends later on or whatever, That's kind of what the majority of people are satisfied with. Just, give me a cool story I can talk to my friends at the water cooler or, in passing or when I'm talking about the weather, just chit chat. Give me something cool to chit chat about, some cool facts or, tell me something that Neil deGrasse Tyson said that was amazing or whatever, which, it's just, come on, people, if you want to find the facts, you just got to look. You just got to have an objective eye, and if the evidence doesn't look like something you want to support, that's the hard truth. That's when it becomes the harsh reality that maybe you're not ready to accept. But because you're not ready to accept it does not mean that it is not true. You get what I'm saying? So let's be more diligent people. Let's continue to search for answers and continue to share the relevant information. And let's not attack each other. Listen, we're not enemies here. I'm not your enemy. If I'm exposing a government issue, if they're doing chemtrails, why don't argue with that so much. That's not the point. The point is for you to say, you know what? Okay, this is what he said. This is what they're saying. It doesn't make sense together. So let me see both sides of the story. Let me analyze this objectively instead of just saying, no, he's crazy because they're smart or something. That's the difference, people. Just because somebody is smart does not mean that they know everything. Look at Ben Carson. Maybe he's a brilliant surgeon, but he has no business in politics. And that's just the way it is. He wasn't trained for that. He was trained as a neurosurgeon or whatever. So think about it. Just because you're smart in one area does not mean you're smart in any other. It's like the dentist who can't fucking change his tire. Come on. That seems basic, right? But hey, that's the way it is. Because I'm good at one thing, I'm great at everything. That's just that's a falsehood that you got to get out of. Okay, so that's the correlation that I try to make. If you think about it, the weather being so warm, it's unseasonably warm. Chemtrails are keeping it warm, and in essence, that's subconsciously creating a higher value to this area because it's making it warm. It's making it warmer for extended periods of time, and people like me, I love it. I love the warmth, but not because it's manufactured. That's just dangerous. That's as a criminal thing here. So we need to stop it, but we need to get awareness, and that's all we really need to have to worry about right now. So get the word out, spread this, share it, like it, socialize about it. Let's see you on the comments. Please don't use the comments to just go crazy and call people nuts and whatever. Be objective, okay? That's all we're asking for, all right? Love and liberation to all, and you have a great one. Thanks for listening. Bye.